Okay, this video is going to be me breaking down the side hustle I did to help me get to my first $10,000 a month. I'm going to break down what it is, how I got started, what went wrong, what went right, what I'd do differently if I were to do it again, some useful tips and tricks, and ideas I have for scaling. Alright, this side hustle was called couch flipping, and the simplest way to put it, it was getting free or cheap furniture, reselling it for a profit. Easiest way to put it. And I actually got started in this because, as most young people do, you want to make money. You hear about side hustles and you're like, you know what? I probably should start a side hustle, make a little bit of money on the side. Probably do that, that'd be all right. And I was working sales at the time, and a guy that I was working with, it was during COVID. He'd just taken a week off because the office got shut down for COVID restrictions. Came back and he's like, yeah, I made $2,500 last week. Well, I wasn't meant to be leaving the house. I was like, what? You did what? And then he told me about what he was doing, and I was like, fuck, that sounds unreal. Could you please teach me how to do that? Kind of walked me through it a little bit, and then he ended up leaving. A couple months later, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to try couch flipping. So I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found a free couch, went and picked it up, brought it home, took some photos of it, relisted it, and I did not sell it. I ended up taking it to the dump about a month later because I just couldn't sell the couch. And I was like, well, shit, maybe it's not for me. I guess I just won't do it then. So I left it a couple more months. I ended up leaving the sales job. I got back in contact with this good mate, asked him, I was like, you still doing that couch flipping thing? I was like, you reckon you could show me? And he's like, fuck yeah, let's sit down. Sat down, had a lunch with him. He walked me through step by step everything he does, told me a couple of YouTube videos. But the original person he learned this off was Ryan Pineda. I watched one of his YouTube videos, so I'm going to link those in the description. But there's probably heaps more videos out there now. I have not checked in a while. After that, me and my best mate at the time were like, yep, all right, let's go out, let's give this a go. We ended up giving it a go and selling a couch for, I don't even know how much, but I've got a video of it somewhere. I'm going to play on the screen, try and find it, because I thought it was pretty funny. We filmed the first couch we ever sold. What with this, mate? What we fucking got here?
Mate, you know what? I fucking bought a $0 couch and I've made $180.
Right, $180, $0 couch.
Yep, and only half the couch I sold.
Only half the fucking couch, mate.
Yep.
Fuck, you're fucking joking. Now, it turns out what went wrong the first time was I lived in a kind of isolated area. You could kind of think there wasn't that many, it wasn't that dense of a population. It was kind of halfway in between two densely populated areas. So, because of the area that we were in, pretty much no one was seeing our ad on Facebook. Plus, it wasn't a good couch that we got anyway. It was like two-seaters that were really old and just worn down. They looked horrible. So when we started up again, we started listing couches in both of the densely populated areas. So we'd list one here and then we'd list the same one down here. And whichever area it sold to first, we'd drive and deliver it to. And that worked out perfectly for us. This was everything I did step by step to sell a couch. So to start, I'd go on Facebook Marketplace and I'd search for free couch or one of these other keywords that I'll put on the screen. And I'd find ones that look like this or this. Any kind of variation of this was perfect, but you want the sectional couches, the ones that are like L-shaped or big corner couches, ones with recliners on the end, not recliners on their own. Individual recliners do not sell well or do not sell for much at all. Two-seaters and three-seaters don't really sell too much. You can sell them, but they're normally for a lot cheaper than you'd be able to sell a big corner couch or an L-shaped couch, one of these sectional ones. And so once I'd find a couch, I'd find one that was either listed for free or for cheap. And I'd look for ones that didn't have damage on them. If they had like a little rip that I could sew up, I'd get one of those. If they had like a little stain that would scrub out, I'd get one of those. If they had like minimal damage and they were free or cheap enough. A lot of the times you can lowball people and they'll say yes. Then I'd pick the couch up, I'd bring it back, I'd unload it, I'd give it a clean up, fix it up how I needed, set it up with a nice backdrop, take some good quality photos of it to make it look really nice. I'd go back onto Facebook Marketplace, I'd relist it to the populated areas with free delivery in the title and then whatever the couch was. Leave a good description of it, pretty much use the same words for every single description. I'll go back through my Facebook and put one on the screen. And then eventually someone would want the couch, I'd go and deliver it to them, get the cash, do the dash. And you just rinse and repeat. Okay, our setup when me and my mate were selling couches were either both of us had a ute and we just put couches on the back, or if we needed to take multiple at a time, we'd have a trailer. Or at one point he had a ute and I had a little Mazda 6 and I was towing a trailer behind that. So as long as you've got a tow ball or somewhere to put a tow ball, you can really do it. You can hire a trailer for pretty cheap if you don't have one. And then if you need storage, and then for storage, and then And then for storing these couches, there's heaps of different options. At my parents' place, we used to use the garage, and we just stack everything up vertically in the garage. But then after a while, once we started getting heaps of couches, we did hire out a shipping container. I think it cost us $40 a month, something ridiculously cheap to have the storage container just sitting there. But obviously, if you don't have somewhere to put the storage container, you can find storage yards where they will let you store your storage container, or just storage yards in general. I don't know how much those cost, but as long as you're making more money than it's worth it. Now, a couple ideas I had for scaling that we did kind of try and do, but we didn't really try to do while we were doing it, was you can find couches that are pretty much brand new if you go to like the big name companies, the big furniture companies, go in. Normally they have a return section where couches come in if someone's got like a little scratch or not even anything really, and they just return it and get a new couch. That couch, they don't then resell to other people. They ship them off and they go to auction, and then they go from there. But if you can work out a deal with one of these big companies to like buy their furniture when it comes back at a cost, you could potentially be getting it for a heap cheaper. I only tried to talk to 1 or 2 places about doing this, and they already had people that were doing it. So if you can find places and you can negotiate with them and you can secure that, that can be an easy way to get really good couches for really cheap that are going to sell for a lot of money. Now, when we were selling these couches, on average, we were selling them for about $450 profit. So we'd get them for free and then sell them for around $450. A lot of the times we wouldn't get a couch unless we knew we could sell it for over $400 and relatively quickly. That way it wasn't sitting around in storage, potentially getting moldy if it's exposed to the elements at all. One of the handiest pickups we did get was a spot cleaner. This thing was fucking unreal. Anytime some couch would have like a little spot on it or a couple spots that need to be cleaned, we'd give it a hose down and then use the upholstery cleaner, and it'd come up fucking unreal a lot of the times. Or if you don't want to do that, you can hire people to come out with proper steam cleaners, like upholstery cleaners, and they will fully clean your couch. If you've got a bunch of them to do at a time, you can get a discounted price on them, and then as long as you know you're going to be able to sell it for a significant amount more by getting it cleaned, then it's worth it. Now, I've actually still got the book from 2022 when we were doing this full time, or when we first started doing it. And I used to track all the couches and everything that we sold in this book. So, alright, so I'll just open up to one of the pages. June 2022, Monday the 27th. Purple 3 plus 2-seater, $150 we sold that for. I remember that 3 and 2-seater. I don't really like to sell them because they do sell for cheap. And this one was also purple. I'm pretty sure we got this one because we got to someone's place to sell them a couch, and they're like, hey, do you want to just take this couch away from us? Because we're going to take it to the tip if not. Sold big brown couch for $350, big dark leather couch for $400, purple / brown couch for $300 plus $100 delivery, cream couch for $300. So that was all one day. That's what's that? 150 plus 350, that's 500 plus 400, 900 plus 300, that's 1200, $1,500 a day. That is not too bad at all. So when we were doing this, you can definitely make a substantial amount of money, at least enough money to keep you afloat without working extremely long hours every single day. Obviously, the more work you do put into it, the more you will be able to get out of it. But it's also about being smarter about it as well. Like if you can kind of figure out the times, after a while, you'll get a feel of the times when people are actually posting their couch ads on Facebook and Gumtree and any kind of marketplace website. And you'll start to know to check around those times to see if there's something that's going to be popping up. But if you can get something and you message them relatively quick, you should be able to get it every single time. All right, I'm going to finish this off with some useful tips and tricks because these actually help me out so fucking much. If you can negotiate even a little bit, it is going to help you out so much when talking with some of these people. If you've ever spoken to people on Facebook Marketplace, you know it's a fucking nightmare and you just know they've got no idea what's going on. So many people, when they negotiate, they have no negotiation tactic. It's literally just lowball, nothing. So if I was going to lowball someone or try and negotiate for a cheaper price, I'd offer them something so that it was a win for them. So if someone had couch listed for $200, but I obviously didn't want to pay that and I wanted to get it for some like heaps cheaper, I'd be willing to pay $100 for it, but if I could get it for $50, that'd be a win. I'd message the person and say, hey, would you be willing to accept $50 if I came and picked that up right now? 1, they're still getting money for it. 2, they're getting it picked up ASAP. As soon as you can get there, which is going to be a win for them if they really just need it gone. But they might counter that and come back and go, I can't let it go for 50, but I could do 100. Would that be all good? And you go, perfect. I was willing to spend 100. Let's go and do that. Or they might come back with something else, or they might just not respond. Depends. But just doing that works a treat compared to what some people do, which is literally just coming in, just going, hey, $100. No. Like, oh, okay. Sometimes when people would be messaging me, I'd have a couch listed for 500. I'd get a couple messages being like, hey, could you please deliver the couch for $300 today? No, not even that. They just say, hey, I want the couch for $300. I just go, no, that is not happening at all. But simple little negotiation things like that work absolute wonders when you're dealing with some of these people, especially when people try to lowball you, but you've got other messages, or even if you don't have other people asking for the couch. Saying this still makes it seem like it. You create a little bit of scarcity and demand in their minds, and it's more than likely going to lead to them wanting to buy the couch. So if someone messages you, tries to lowball you, go, hey, appreciate the offer. Unfortunately, I can't let it go for any more than X amount because I've got 3 other people that have messaged me already, and I just listed this couch 2 hours ago. And they're like, shit, all right, well, a couple other people that want this, I actually want the couch. I'll be willing to pay full price. Give it to me. Take it. And so when we list a couch, we used to offer free delivery or free local delivery. And then if someone was further than an hour away from us, I'd say to them, hey, we do offer free local delivery. Unfortunately, you're over an hour away from us. How much would you be willing to pay for delivery? I'd always ask, how much would you be willing to pay? Because if I just named a price and said, all right, delivery is $50, a lot of the time, like a surprising amount of time, people will come back with a price that was higher than what you would have said when you asked them how much they're willing to pay. So a lot of times I'll be willing to do delivery for like $20, $30, but people would come back and say, oh yeah, let's do 70. I'll give you $70 to deliver it today. Beautiful. The most I've had someone offer for delivery, it was an hour and a half drive, but they offered me $200 for delivery. I would have done it for 100. And I will say, it definitely does happen, but I personally never had it happen where I said that line to people and they came back and said an amount that was less than what I would have done it for. It's just ridiculous. It works so well. I don't know why, but it works so well. When you're taking the photos of your couches and setting them up and stuff like that, you want to get the photos that fully show off the couch as the main part of your ad. And then kind of, I'd use pretty much the exact same photo set up for every single couch. If there is like a little rip or something, don't hide it, but don't clearly say it's there. Because if you clearly say there's a problem, people are only going to see that problem with something. You get it. But when someone says something, be like, oh, but there's this. You're like, oh, fuck, what's that? I don't want that. So if there was a little rip or something and I had stitched it up and fixed it, I'd take a photo, but I wouldn't take a zoomed up close up photo. I'd take like a photo of it so you could still see the rip or the stain or whatever it was. And in the description, I'd always put wear and tear as pictures. That way if people don't actually look at the pictures and don't see it, that's on them. You said there's wear and tear, if they don't look. Now, in the descriptions for these ads, when you're listing them on Facebook, I'd always put, if it was a big name brand or something that people really liked, I'd always put those keywords as some of the first things. So if it was from a brand like Plush, I'd put Plush sectional couch, Fantastic Furniture, Super Amart, these kinds of couches, like any kind of keyword that people would specifically be looking for because they've seen it before, they know it's good and they want it. All right, this is a bit of an unethical trick. You can do it if you want. I had a mate that used to do it. Personally, I've never done it, but it does work. If you find a free couch that's really good and you really want it, but someone says that other people have messaged them for it before you, you can always come back and say, hey, I'll pay $100 if I can come and get it. And they're like, fuck yeah, well, I was just giving it away for free. If someone wants to pay $100, that's a win. So my mate would do that. He'd go out there, and then when he'd get there, he'd be like, fuck, no, I'm sorry. I don't think I can pay $100 for this. Like, can I just take it for free? And they'll be like, well, we were going to give it away for free. Like, yeah, go on, take it. And every single time it'd work, and he'd get the couch for free instead of $100. So a little bit unethical, but you can do it if you want. If you want to beat out some of the competition, it's helpful. All right, so that was my video on couch flipping. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been insightful for you. I hope you actually give it a go, because a lot of people will watch stuff like this and they won't actually give it a go. You just got to keep doing different things until it works out for you and you figure out the process and what's going to be the best setup for you. And then, yeah, I do have a couch flipping document that I made up on my PC that is literally step by step everything, that when I'd have mates ask me like, how are you actually doing what you're doing, I'd send them that document that walked them through literally everything step by step. Only 1 or 2 of them ever actually tried to do it. I still see one of those mates and he still does it every now and then. And anytime he needs an extra couple $100 cash, he just goes and does that. Because it's easy. It's an extra couple $100 if you want to do it. Personally, I haven't done it in over a year and a half. But if you guys want to see it, I might give it a go and see if it still works in 2026. See how much money I can make in a week, and we'll go from there.